So day 2, my final day in Fort William, and right now I'm off to get a bus to take me to Neptune's staircase, which is a tiered lock. After that I'm going to walk to a castle, and then from there I'm going to walk back into town and hopefully hitchhike to Steall's Waterfall, which I've been told apparently that it's very easy to hitchhike around here, so we shall see. From there I'm planning to walk back to the hostel, which is a 3-hour walk through mountain range, so hopefully it is forecast to be a bit rainy today. Well, we'll see how we get on. I think just down there behind that tree, that's where my bus is leaving, and we've got in about 6 minutes, so that's the plan for today. So as you can see, I made it to Neptune's staircase, which is the biggest staircase lock in Scotland, nearly 200 years old, and goes on for about 1/4 mile, and it raises the water by 19 metres. So I'm going to walk around there. There's a cafe over there, so I'm going to walk up this side right to the top, and then come down the other side and maybe stop for a coffee before heading on to the castle. If you are in a boat that comes down here and you need to make your way through the lock, then I hope you're not in a rush, because it takes 90 minutes to get to the other end. So here we go. So there you go. So I've just literally walked up the whole of the staircase lock. So I guess that must mean I'm 19 metres higher than I was at the bottom. It's quite tiring actually, especially doing it at that speed. So that was Neptune's staircase, the first one of my activities that I'm going to do today. So now I'm walking towards the castle. I'm taking a slightly longer route, because the route that Google gave me kind of just is basically all the way along the main road, whereas this one looks much nicer. It's only a few minutes further, so it's about 37 minutes to the castle, so that's my next stop. So here we are at Inverlochy Castle. It's completely unstaffed, it's free to get in. Apparently it's one of Scotland's most historic castles, because there were 2 battles fought here 200 years apart. Doesn't look like you can go up there. So obviously it's just the ruins now, what's left. Not sure when it was built actually. An information sign over there, so that might give us some information, as information signs usually do. So I've just seen a guy climb up and get onto the top, but there's a sign there saying do not climb on the walls. Not that anybody's here to tell us off, but that's not putting me off, but the slippy, sharp rocks is putting me off a little bit. Oh, there you go, see what I mean? Yeah, forget that. Yeah, so it looks like I've done the castle back to front, because I came in the other side, and all the information posts were all about specific parts of the castle, and I've just come out this way, which obviously is the front of the castle, and this information is the welcome sign. So built around 1280, 3 battles were fought here, so yeah, that's kind of what it used to look like, an artist's impression. Inverlochy in the 1290s. Queen Victoria came in 1873. Wasn't impressed because there's a little bit left, but that's pretty cool. It's only small, but it's certainly worth having a wander out from Fort William. I don't know if there's anything else around here. Somebody said there were some nice gardens around here or something, but all I can see is like kind of businesses and timber and things like that. So yeah, I think I'm going to head back to Fort William now, and then I'm going to try and hitchhike to the Steall Waterfall. And I've never actually hitchhiked before. I've tried in Southeast Asia, I'm completely unsuccessful. But I did find out the other day that that isn't the proper sign in Southeast Asia. Apparently you're supposed to do this or something. So maybe that's why we were unsuccessful, because people just thought we were commenting on their driving and saying, yeah, well done guy. Because no one picked us up, we ended up having to get a taxi. But I think in Scotland it's the universally known hand sign. Put a thumb out and hopefully someone will stop. I just need to get to the part of the road now, the Ben Nevis road. Okay, so now I'm on to my final destination of today, which is the Steall Waterfall, which from here is about 15 minutes drive or 2 hours and 44 minutes walk. So this is where I attempt to hitchhike. I've never done that successfully before. No one's ever pulled up, but apparently here it's pretty easy. So I've been told to walk past the visitor centre, because after there's nowhere else for people to go. So every car that will be passing will be going to the Steall Waterfalls. So I guess I should put my thumb out. So I've reached the Ben Nevis Braveheart car park, which I was here yesterday when I came off a cow hill. I've seen a few cars that passed me that just drove past have pulled into here, so obviously I've passed that, so the car, that's a few less cars that are going to zoom past me because they're only going there. So hopefully, I've weeded out a few of them, but there have been a few that have gone past and none of them have stopped. This is everyone says, oh, it's dead easy, yeah, just get onto this road and just put your thumb out and you'll be like 2 minutes and someone will pick you up. But there's not a great deal of traffic, so I can hear something coming maybe. But I'm still not near, see there's a car park there, there's a lot of people go there to the Brave, there's a little kind of small walk around there. It's the Braveheart car park. It's only called that because they built the car park for the film crew for when they were filming Braveheart. I think the tourists think it's some kind of historical place, but it's not. It's just a car park for the film crew. And along there somewhere is Braveheart Town, the original Braveheart Town, which apparently is not historic at all. It's just where they filmed some of the scenes from the film. But people go there thinking it's like this amazing historical place, and in fact it's just part of the wood basically. So I'm still not at the Ben Nevis visitor centre. So the guy did say, oh, there's a car coming here, let's see if I've got any luck with this one. Maybe I need to film it. No, he's not having any of it. Old fellow and his wife, he's not going to pick up some weirdo in a smiley hat, is he? Maybe I'm too late, maybe people come to the waterfalls really early in the morning. But I don't know. I mean, I told the guy at the hostel what I was planning to do, and he said, yeah, that sounds cool. And he said, just make your way past the Ben Nevis Information Centre, and then every car that goes past you will be going to the waterfall. But there's not a great deal of traffic, and no one stopped yet, so, well, could be worse places to be walking, I suppose. So I've reached Ben Nevis Visitor Centre. So the road from here on in basically only goes to the Steall Waterfalls. So far I've not had much luck. No one's stopping. Maybe I'm being a little bit impatient, but I was told that people would stop. But it doesn't seem to be working out, so I'll give it another 10 minutes. Okay, there's a couple, well, one car just disappeared, there's a van. Don't know if that means he's more likely to stop or not, but here we go. I'll put my thumb out. No indicator. No, he's not stopping. Something else. No, he's turning. It's really not looking good. I've certainly not got time to walk the 3 hours to the waterfall and then the 3 hours back. So, cause that would take me up to like 8 o'clock tonight. So, 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna call it a day, I think. Well, this is as far as I go. So the hitchhiking has been a fail. I'm going to get off the road now because my trail goes up there somewhere, and then I get into that and then I turn left, which, I mean, over there is just literally mountains completely covered in snow, so I might get some good views going that way. I'm going to walk about half an hour, I think, or maybe a bit longer, to a fort, and then I'm going to come back, and then the same path takes me all the way back to the hostel. It's about 2.5 hours, I think, in total. So didn't get to see the waterfall, but I'm not too disappointed because I have seen many beautiful waterfalls in Southeast Asia, and the scenery around here is just stunning. And hopefully, when I get up there, I'm going to have even better views of this mountain range. So let's go and have a look. Thought I'd give one more car a chance, but no, I'm leaving it. Never mind. It tells you everything you need to know about Scotland when this is your second choice. So I've been walking about half an hour to try and reach this fort. I've no idea how far away it is, but however far it is, I've got to walk all the way back to the point I came from, and then it's about another hour to my hostel, so I've still got quite a bit of walking to do. I'm starting to feel a bit weak now, so I'm going to find a spot I've still got a sandwich in my bag, 2 bananas and an apple, so I'm going to stuff my face with all that. Not got much water left, so I need to try not to drink much of that, but anyway, I'm going to find a spot somewhere up here, and as you can see, the views are just stunning. I think these are the same mountains that I saw yesterday from Cow Hill, but obviously I'm much closer now. And I was going to have something to eat down at this bend here, because I thought I could sit down and overlook the this one, this one, and then the next one, which is completely covered in snow. But I can't quite see that one yet, so I'm going to try the next corner and see if there's anywhere to sit there. I've done really well with the weather today. It's been sunny all day, but I can feel it's starting to rain now, which I really don't want that to happen, because that would put a right dampener on the rest of the journey, especially as I'm completely exposed, as you can see. No shelter. I have got my waterproof jacket and a brolly, but still, it'd be much nicer if it stayed dry. It did forecast rain and snow all day today. We've not had any, so I think I've been fortunate so far. I think I'll be very lucky if I manage to do the whole day trekking without getting soaked. So just around this corner here, I'm going to try and find somewhere to sit down and eat a sandwich and hope it doesn't start chucking it down with rain. It's amazing. When I made the last minute decision to come and explore a bit of Scotland, this is not what I had in mind. I've already been walking about 5 hours today. I've still got about another 3 left, but I'm doing well. Didn't drink anything last night. Had I think 4 cans the night before while I watched Sheffield United, and that's all I've had to drink all week. So when you're getting up early to go out exploring all this, the last thing you want is to be waking up with a hangover. So, and I've been spending the nights just sat in the hostel, putting vlogs together. I made a vlog about Inverness and one about Fort William, what I got up to yesterday. But the Wi-Fi is so bad in the hostel, it's impossible to upload them. Especially the Inverness one, which is 30 minutes long. Who's going to watch a vlog for 30 minutes? I don't know. Especially one that I've made. But I'm just getting used to it. Just, you know, I've only made like, it's the first time I've used an action camera. I went all over Southeast Asia and all over the Balkans and didn't film any of it. Took lots of photos and made a blog. It's at www.globaltweets.net, which I'm quite proud of. I think it's a good blog. But I thought, as I'm going out across Europe again in a few weeks' time, that I wanted to start doing some vlogs. And the quality is not great. I know it's. I'm doing it on the cheap. It's a £40 camera. But you know, not everybody wants fancy titles and, you know, expert editing. Some people just want to see what the traveller's seen, especially when it looks like that. So yeah, I've got a 30-minute Inverness vlog to put up. There's one from Fort William yesterday. It's about 15 minutes long. This one will probably be about the same. So I'm just hoping for at the next hostel we'll have decent Wi-Fi, because trying to upload a 12 gigabyte file to YouTube, I was uploading it yesterday, and after about an hour it was at 1%. So I just gave up in the end. So right, I think up here is where I'm going to sit down and have a sandwich. Nice spot for it. So finally, after well over an hour of trekking uphill, I've reached the fort, which is in there, but this just caught my eye, so I'm going to have a look over here. Looks like some kind of weird Blair Witch thing going on. I'm not going to go too far down here because I'm already about, I don't know, 2 hours from the hostel from here, and my legs are already feeling it, but it is all going to be downhill for at least the next hour anyway, so it shouldn't be too bad. But you just want to keep on going, because just over there you can see another mountain completely covered in snow, but I could just keep on going forever. So I'm going to go to the fort, which I'm expecting to be not very impressive. Most people who've come here say that it's you know, it's not amazing. There's very little of it left, but it's the views that are just stunning, as I've shown you many times. I never get bored of looking at this stuff. It's just incredible. I have actually just seen two people walking down from here. I thought I was the only person for miles, but no, somebody else has been up here. So alright, let's see what's going on then. So, oh wow, we think Dun Deardail Fort was built around 2,000 years ago. It may have been occupied or rebuilt on several occasions through time, from Celtic fort to Pictish citadel. Imagine the people who lived here, their colourful flags and banners proclaiming the power of the tribe to which they belonged. The fort dominates the glen, a natural stronghold with amazing views. Well, yeah, I agree with that. When did people last live here? We aren't sure, but we do know why they left. Fire destroyed the fort. Intense heat melted the rock, a process known as vitrification. You can still see blocks of burnt stone rubble within the walls of the upper citadel and the lower enclosure. Vitrification was unlikely to have been the result of accidental fire. The heat required to melt the rock is such that the fires must have been deliberately set. The timber-laced ramparts heaped with additional wood. Dun Deardail was deliberately destroyed, perhaps symbolically by victorious attackers, or perhaps as a ceremonial event following the death of a tribal chief or king. We may never know for sure. Wow. So the people stood around watching. Maybe someone in there was the person who caused the fire. Maybe it was that guy stood at the back. Anyway, let's go in. Let's see what's left of it. I'm going to keep the camera rolling, just so you can experience it the same way as I did. That's interesting. No, come on, keep going. I mean, one thing is for sure, that they're all going to be amazing views from up here, because the higher you get, the more amazing the views are. You're just starting to see the top of the mountain come into view now. Well, I think it's the top, I don't know. The clouds are covering it, so it might go on further. I wish I knew which mountains these were. Yesterday I thought it might have been Ben Nevis, I'm not so sure now. I think Ben Nevis might be at the back of this, but who knows. I can't recognise mountains, especially when I've never seen them before. I'm hoping there's not much further uphill to climb, because I've been climbing uphill now for, oh god, it's got to be an hour and a half. At least the return journey won't be as bad. It's not too steep, so it won't be too bad on the knees going back down. But it's probably about the same as this actually, but it just goes on and on and on. No, still more uphill. I'm running out of water as well. It's very tempting every time I stop to have a drink to just guzzle the whole lot down. I've only bought a litre bottle out with me, so I need to buy a 2 litre bottle. 2 litres not enough. Not when you're doing the amount of walking that I've done today. So I'm hoping that we're not far now. Maybe it's starting to flatten out a bit. Maybe this is it. God, I hope so. Come on, where the hell is it? Okay, so I'm starting to get the impression now that there actually isn't a fort up here anymore. This is just the site where the fort used to be, because there's nothing at all. So I've just spent an hour and a half walking up a steep hill to find a fort that isn't there anymore, not even any ruins. So I mean, I could keep going, but I'm pretty certain that, you know, I've gone far enough now. There's no more signs. I think literally I'm stood where the fort used to be. So that's a little bit of a disappointment, but having said that, the further up you go, the more beautiful it is. So I am actually turning down now, I'm going back. I mean, so one of these has got to be Ben Nevis. If not this, then or that, then certainly one in the background. I think it's to my right. That's all I know on Google Maps. It's somewhere around here, but it's just stunning. I mean, what I'm thinking, if this is not Ben Nevis, then Ben Nevis is obviously bigger than this, and there's no way. I mean, I can see, not so much on this one, but certainly on that one over there, you can see trails going up the side of the mountain, and they are pretty steep. Yeah, do you know what, that probably is Ben Nevis, because there's a trail that goes, I can just about see it zigzagging its way across there, and then it goes up to the top, and then it keeps on going right up into where the snow and the light is there. and the thing keeps going on. We can't actually see the top because of the clouds covering it, and obviously it's completely covered in snow. This is why, I mean, I can't see anyone on there at all, on any of them. There's no one on there. I mean, there's no one on here. But this is, you know, this is easy because it's all, you know, it's paths the whole way and it's not covered in snow. But yeah, I mean, last week there's a guy from Slovakia who, you know, maybe he got the warning. Maybe he came all the way to Fort William and came to Ben Nevis and thought, I've come all this way. I'm not come all this way to not climb Ben Nevis, and so he just went anyway, despite the warnings. You can see, I don't know if you can pick it up on there, just above that mountain there. You can see where it keeps on going up and up and up. Yeah, so he went up despite the warnings, and maybe he was a professional, an experienced climber. Maybe he was just a tourist who wanted to tick off Ben Nevis. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know what must have been going through his mind to be walking along one of these footpaths and to look up and to see an avalanche coming down the side of the mountain, heading straight for him. You know, that's your time's up when you see that. There's no way you're going to survive something like that. So, probably for the best I didn't do it. I didn't realise how, I just thought that there would, because it's got an information centre, that there would be a perfectly easy trail all the way up. But so when I put the message up on Facebook and asked people whether I should attempt it, and when I asked people in the hostel, pretty much everyone said no. There were a couple of people that said, yeah, I've been up and done it, but I don't think they've done it when there's been weather warnings and when it's been covered in snow and like this. So yeah, the fort, well, it's not here anymore. But is it worth coming up here? Well, if you're expecting to see a fort, then I'd say no. But if you want amazing views, then I would say definitely yes.